By getting in the water, I became a mom of 3. My husband was on a business trip. We got evicted. It turned out David hadn't paid the mortgage in 6 months. Panicking, I called David, only to find out he had another family. I don't need you or the house. I'll mail the divorce papers, he said spitefully. I spent all my savings on legal fees. I lost and had no place to live. I settled in the car I got out of the divorce. I got a second job to get out of poverty. On my way home from a night shift, I fainted. A passerby quickly called an ambulance. He went to the hospital with me. They told me I was pregnant. Congrats, you're about to become a dad. The doctor shocked the Good Samaritan. It was the doctor's mistake, and it would have been all right. But the stranger's wife heard it. You're gonna be a father? You're just a cheater. She went off about divorce, not even giving us a chance to explain. Unlike that hysterical lady, I knew who my baby's father was. I told my ex-husband I was pregnant. He just threw money at me for abortion. I'm getting married soon. You can come to the wedding if you want. I'm also adopting my fiancé's 2 kids. So I don't need a third one, he said sharply. I kept the baby, but lost my job. I cried hard over my last money. God, how am I supposed to live with no house and a baby? I yelled into the sky in despair, when suddenly a gust of wind snatched the money and carried it away. This wasn't the help I expected, struggling to catch it. In tears, I ran to the sea and saw kids there. They were playing ball, and a big wave was coming at them. They could drown, and no one else was around. Without thinking, I jumped into the water. It was only when I was in the sea that I suddenly remembered I couldn't swim. By some miracle, I managed to catch the kids, and fortunately, a wave pushed us to shore. At that moment, I didn't even think about money. The kids' lives were much more precious. But all my money was right there in the sand. That's the last thing I remembered before the ambulance arrived. When I woke up, I knew right away the kids were okay. Their dad had rushed to the hospital. It was Steve, the stranger who'd saved my life. Thank you. They're my world, he cried. I just repaid him for what he'd done for me. The surprising encounter didn't end there. My ex came along with the kid's mom. I'm divorcing you. This is my future husband. And both of you stay away from our kids, she yelled, saying the court would side with her. She didn't take one thing into account, though. When her kids almost drowned, she was with her lover instead of watching them. The court considered this and gave the kids to Steve. I congratulated him when suddenly I went into labor. Steve took me to the hospital where I had my baby girl. Congrats, you have a daughter. And now you have a little sister. The doctor made us blush again. Now there was truth in his words. A few months later, my ex showed up. She dumped me and left me for someone else. Abortion wasn't my idea. Let me see my daughter, he asked tearfully, pinning it all on his lover. Your daughter already has a wonderful father, and I'm a happy mom to all your lost children. I added the real truth.